Hi, I'm Chloe Rosen, and today I'm making an Asian-inspired salmon sandwich. And so the first thing that we need to do is get our salmon going, so we're going to start with that. We have about 3 to 4 ounce pieces of salmon here. They're just salmon fillets. And what we're going to do is we ask the butcher to take some of the skin off because we're going to end up breaking it up a little bit for the salad that we're going to put in the sandwich. And so we're just going to start. We're going to turn on our pan to about medium and put in some olive oil so it can get nice and hot, just like that. And then we're going to put some olive oil and salt and pepper also on our salmon. We're just doing 2 of these because we're just making 2 sandwiches today, and put some salt and pepper on there too. We're just going to do one side because once they're in the other pan, we can just get the other side in there. So some salt and pepper. Just going to get the salmon in there with the top down. So next what we're going to do is we're going to make a little bit of a vinaigrette for the salmon to freshen it up and put some flavor and spice in there, and this is where we get Asian inspired a little bit. So first we're going to take about a tablespoon of sesame oil, and so we're going to mix that with 2 tablespoons of normal vegetable oil, and so that's going to kind of give us that sesame flavor. And to that we're going to add about a half a cup of rice vinegar, and we're going to get 2 tablespoons of soy sauce in there. You can see the salmon's coming along very nicely. Let's get that soy sauce in there. And then we're going to add some other things to kind of spice it up a little bit. We have 2 tablespoons of sugar to sweeten it a little bit, and we have 1 tablespoon of honey too. Let's get that out. It's a little bit sticky. There we go. You can always also make this salad with the dressing, and you can make it and not put it in the sandwich too if you like that. We're going to add a little bit of scallion that I've chopped up a little bit. Now what we're going to do is we're going to grate a little bit of fresh garlic in there, just a little bit, because you don't want too much. But this just kind of livens it up and adds a little delicious spice. Just going to get a little bit in there. We're also going to grate a little bit of fresh ginger. And this is actually pretty easy to find. It looks like a gnarled root, but it's so good when you put it in stuff. It's so yummy. So we're going to just grate a little bit, maybe a teaspoon of this in there. It smells so good. So let's get that in there. Now we're going to whisk it right up. And the sugar dissolves, and you just get this really good dressing. And you could even put this on like a chicken salad, a Chinese chicken salad. You could do this with beef and make kind of like a Thai-inspired salad. That would be really good. All right, so now that we've made our vinaigrette, we're just going to check on the salmon. Oh, it's coming along very nicely. It's nice and brown and crispy on the other side, which I love. And so now we're just going to season the other side because we never seasoned that side. Let's get a little pepper and salt in there. Make it so delicious. And it's been going for about 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes. And so we're going to wait about another minute, then we're going to flip it over and get another 3-4 minutes on the other side. And then we're going to actually chill it for a little while so we have a nice cold salad to toss with our vinaigrette and put on our sandwich. All right, so it's been that second 4 minutes on the other side. And you're looking for it like this. And this is a good recipe because you don't have to be perfect at searing it. And what you can also do, because you're going to flake it up a little bit, is you can just kind of check the middle to make sure that it's perfectly cooked inside too. So now we're going to take 2 forks. You can do this really with whatever you'd like. And we're just going to kind of pull it apart into big flakes, just so that when you bite into it, it's just like a perfect bite. And this is also just a great time to, like, if you see a pin bone, to grab it out, because you don't want to be biting into that in your sandwich. So this is a great time in case the butcher didn't do a perfect job. All right, that looks perfect. So now what we're going to do, we're going to add a little of this vinaigrette, and we also have some toasted sesame seeds here, and I just toasted them a little bit to make them like a little crunchy and nutty. So we're going to add about a little of the vinaigrette. We don't want to add too much to weigh it down, but we want to season it because we're going to use a little bit of this later in the rest of the salad. Now we're going to sprinkle in a little bit of our celery, because you know celery is normally in tuna salad, and it just kind of gives it a lovely crunch and a delicious like bite. So we're gonna add a little bit of that in. You can just kind of, this part is just kind of whatever vegetables you like, especially in like a stir fry, maybe you could add that in. So now we're gonna mix it up. This is delicious right now on its own, but I really love to also put it in the refrigerator to just like let it cool down, let the flavors marry a little bit. As long as you can wait, I like to do that for a little while. So this is perfect. Let's go put it in the refrigerator. So our salmon salad just came out of the refrigerator. It's been chilling and all the flavors are getting really good. It tastes even better than it did before. So now some finishing touches. We're gonna put just a sprinkle. This just adds delicious nutty flavor of some of these toasted sesame seeds that I was talking about earlier. Let's stir that up a little bit. Looks so pretty. And we're gonna put maybe a final grind of black pepper on there because that just ties it all together. And you know what I also love to do, because salmon and lemon are just a great combination, just to finish it up. And what I did was I took out the some of the seeds that I saw, and you can just do a nice like quick squeeze over the top of that lemon, and it just adds one of that final bright burst of flavor, which I just love, and it just finishes it off perfectly. All right, so now to assemble our delicious sandwich, I have some whole wheat ciabatta bread, which is actually pretty easy to find. And what I like to do is I cut it in half, and I like to take out some of the extra bread because it gives you a little bit more room for your delicious filling, and also it's a little healthier because you're not eating all the bread, and it makes a really good ratio too. All right, so that's perfect. So to assemble, we have some delicious bean sprouts, which are super easy to find in your grocery store. And we also have some bok choy, which I kind of shaved thinly. And this is my favorite ingredient of this entire experience because it's so good. So what I like to do is I like to take some salmon salad and put it right on. It depends on how much salmon you want, but I like to put a lot on there. Scoop it all on. And it's a little bit of a messy sandwich, but that's okay. And let's put it on this other side. There we go. Pile it nice and high. And so now we're gonna grab some of our bean sprouts. And bean sprouts are so healthy for you. And they also they add like a cool kind of crunch and a cool kind of difference in texture because they're like a little bit longer. And so we're gonna add a little to both. And then we're gonna add some delicious bok choy, which provides kind of like a refreshing watery element, which I love. So maybe like a few of these on each, nice and thin. And then we're just gonna grab a little bit of our vinaigrette, and I like to just take this spoon here and just put a little bit on top of the salad part so it's like a little bit of a dressing, and that will seep through the bread and make it just, oh, so good. All right, so it's time to cap it off. Let's cap them off, and we're done. This is our salmon salad sandwich, perfect for whenever.